Hello everyone. For today's YouTube video, we are going to do a full face of makeup with my favorite products. And before we even start off with makeup, we start off with skincare. And my top skincare products are the CeraVe Acne Control Cleanser, and then the Panioxyl Bar Treatment. And then I go over to back to my room, because this is where I do most of my other things, and then for moisturizer, I use the Cosrx all-in-one cream with the snail mucin in it. I absolutely love how this product is to my skin. It's very hydrating and it treats my skin with a lot of kind. And then when that moisturizer is all in, I go in with primer, and my top two primers, or basically they're the same primer but different formulas, are the Power Grip primers from e.l.f. I'm probably going to be using this one today because I don't think I need to use this one right now, but this is my favorite primer. And then I would either go in with a foundation or a concealer, using them as either the same thing or two different things, which for foundation, I would use the Pretty Natural Essence Hydrating Foundation in the shade 20, which is Neutral Aloe Blaster. And then for concealer, I would use the Hydrating Camo Concealer from e.l.f. in the shade Fair Warm. Next would be blush for me, because I don't usually do bronzer or contour, but if I were, I would just use another concealer, which for the concealer I would normally use is the Maybelline Fit Me concealer in the shade of 57. But for blush, I'm going to go in with the sheglam liquid blush in the shade On Point. I absolutely love the formula of this. I love the pigment. And I forgot to mention, before I go in with concealer or foundation, I'm going to start off with brows, and I use the e.l.f. Brow Lift. You've probably seen this in a bunch of my videos prior to this one, with a lot of these products actually, and stuff. But those are my top first products. And then with that powder, I honestly prefer a pressed powder than a setting powder, but I love the Essence All About Matte Compact Powder. And sometimes, depending on the day, I will go in with the Power Grip Dewy Setting Spray by e.l.f. before I put on my powder and just splash it all over me, or spray it all over me. And then after powder and setting spray, I would go in with I just bought this like 2 weeks ago and I love it. It is the NYX Professional Makeup Butter Melt Blush in the shade You Know Butta. The names are so cute. I might get other shades later and I might review them for a YouTube video. If you guys are interested in that, let me know down below. And then I would go in with mascara, which I will either go in with the Essence Lash Princess or the e.l.f. Lash and Roll, which I think you also have seen this in another video. And then I would go in with lips, and I would do the e.l.f. Lip Oil, but I'll come back and we'll start off with the makeup. Forgot to mention to those who do not follow me, but I'm gonna be posting more regularly on my main account. This is it right here. You can follow it if you'd like. But another thing about that account is that not only am I an ambassador for this brand, which if you use CAM10 for 15% off, I am also an ambassador for Apres Beauty. It's a Pilates and skincare brand. They have things like this balancing mist. They also have eye masks and other things that you can look on the website. This is what it looks like. You can use CAM10 for, yet again, 15% off. And I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. All right, we are back. I just got dressed and got my hair done. And for today's makeup look, we're gonna keep it down to a little bit of a minimum, but still decent, if that makes sense, because I have work today. And I don't want to go full out because I work in retail and stuff like that. But I'm starting off with the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. I just rub this into my skin. And if there's some places that I know will probably need a little bit more coverage or grip for that matter, I'll rub it in. Like, for example, today is these spots on my forehead and my chin area. But then I let that stick on my face for a little under a minute and a half, maybe more than that. But while I wait for that to sit, I grab my e.l.f. Eyebrow Duo brush and just, like I said in the video, I have to bend it to even get some product on it. And then I just sweep them up into a feathery style. And for today, I don't think I'll set them down and see how I like them for the day, because most of the time I will brush the tail down, but I kind of like how they lift my face a bit when I don't, so I'm gonna keep it like that and just grab a little bit more and do the other side. I like doing my eyebrows first with this product, mainly because I don't like how it brings any of the skin together. Not the skin, it breaks the foundation underneath it. And while I let that sit, I'm gonna let that sit for a little bit. And off camera, I'm gonna put a little bit of the Ordinary Lash and Brow Serum, but I use it for lashes only because I don't like putting stuff on my brows besides makeup. But I think my brows are long enough. And I'll be back after I think the primer is ready and everything, yeah. Next is some foundation. I'm just gonna put a little bit on the back of my hand. I shook it up already off camera because I know this is a little bit old. I got this when I was a senior, which that was 2 years ago. The wear time on this is a year, so it's a year expired, but it still works really well. I just will grab a little bit on the back of my finger and tap it into the places I need it, like on my forehead and near my breakouts. The one thing I like about this foundation, which makes me really wish it still was on counters and stuff, is the ingredients. It's got aloe vera in it, which my skin loves aloe vera. It reacts really well to it, and it's one of the main ingredients in it besides hyaluronan, or I think that's how you pronounce it, but it's basically just a hydrating foundation, which I love when it's summer and winter because my skin loves that kind of stuff. And I'll just pat that into my skin and come back to you for some little bit of where I put my concealer, and then we'll do blush. Now, concealer, I just shook it up yet again off camera because it was all over the walls, but I like putting a little bit here, and since I'm not doing any bronzer, actually I might, because I look a little pasty, I'm gonna grab the Maybelline concealer and just put that here and here. A little bit on my forehead. And then I'm gonna put a dot on both sides of my jawline and just blend. But I'm gonna blend out the under eye parts, and then I'm gonna let the rest of it dry and then blend it out with my finger with the concealer spots. And then with the bronzer, I'm gonna go in with the same beauty blender I'm gonna use for my concealer, but after I'm done doing that, I'll come back and we'll start doing some blush. Now we're here with blush. I'm going with, again, Sheglam blush, and I'm gonna go on the high of my cheekbone right here, and then I'm gonna do a dot on my nose. That was a little more than a dot, and my bronzer looks a little crazy, so we're gonna do a little bit on my forehead. And before any of you call me blush blonde, I know. But I'm gonna blend my nose first, and I'm gonna be very careful with this part, because yes, pigment, but I go in with a beauty blender that is mainly for my blush, as you can tell, and I just blend that all together. And now I just have a pink nose, and that will be fixed when I put on my, and I know if you guys have seen the trend where you blend it into your hairline, so I'm gonna try that today. And then I'm gonna blend what I have left over on the blush to meet the top of this. And that looks somewhat decent. And I'm gonna just do the same thing on here. I'm gonna pat that in and pat that into my hairline. To straighten myself out so I can see myself better in the mirror. And then I'm gonna wipe off what I have somewhat left on the back of my hand, and I'm gonna go back into doing the other side, and I'm gonna just do the exact same thing on this side, and then I'll be back. Okay, that is done. So now I'm gonna go in with the setting spray by e.l.f. and do one spray on this side, a spray on this side, and then a spray on this side. And then I go like this. Don't open your mouth. But then we'll do that. Where go? And then I'll set everything in place, mainly the places that I put my concealer. I don't like putting it in other places because that is what it is. Setting powder is meant to do, but I also like keeping my options a little open for when I do these things. And then I just go in with it on both of the sides to my crease, and then I pat extra in the inner corner, and then I go in here on my nose a lot because I don't put makeup there, but I like to set my nose in place because at work I get very cold. And I'll do my chin, and then these two places. Ignore my sister. And then I'll let that set, and then I'll be back to do powder blush. I just realized I did this off camera, but I went with this kind of brush, very flat and angled for the blush, and I just tap that. Well, first I tap it on the back of my hand because it is very pigmented, and then I just tap it everywhere on the places I put blush, and then I go on my lips to give it a bit more of a plump look to them. And then I go in with my lippy. I use the shade Pink Quartz, and I just let that seep into the lines of my lips, and I just let that sit. And then I go over the places I did blush with this brush and just tap anything that could possibly be too bright or too much, and then that will be it for that. And then I go in with some highlighter. I use a blending brush. I don't know what brand this is, but I'm gonna find a highlighter to use. I'll be right back. So last step, highlighter, and then we go to mascara, which for highlighter, I like to spray one more time of the setting spray. Again, do not open your mouth. And I will go in with the Sunrise Hike Super Shock Shadow by ColourPop. I love this color. And I'm gonna just tap it onto the brush and just swipe with a very, very light hand on the high set of my cheekbones. And then I'm gonna do this bridge part of the nose, and then the tip, and then upper lip and bottom lip. Under the brow bone. And then for a lifting effect on my eyes, I like to go in with the same brush and just sweep it underneath the bone that attaches to my nose, to my eyebrow, and I just flick it there for a few sweeps, and then I'll do it again on the other side. And then with my pinky, I'll pick up a little bit of it and just put it in my inner corners. And just grab as much as I can left and just swipe it all over. And then I'm gonna do a little bit here as well. And that is the full base all done. I don't know what's going on with this side. It's the way I'm extending my neck. But now we're gonna go in with some mascara. I'm just using the e.l.f. Lash and Loud, and I'm gonna curl this side. And put a little bit of mascara on the tips of my lashes only. And then I'm gonna let that sit for a couple seconds, and now I'm gonna just go in with a little bit from not the root, but near the root through the rest of my lashes. And then the one thing I like about this is it's curved and it gets the inner corner lashes very nicely. And then I just do a couple swipes on the bottom lashes because I don't want spider lashes, and that's when I'll complete, and I'll come back for the last of after I finish the rest of it. This is the full makeup look for today, and thank you for joining me for today's YouTube video. I will be uploading yet again another video next week on Wednesday or whatever day it is for you guys, and I hope you guys have a good day. Mwah.